This is how you can add $20,000 to your Medspa this month without spending a single dime on ads or doing any sort of new marketing. So let's get into this and take it step by step. The first step is collecting and segmenting your list. What I mean by that is you're going to build a list of people, of contacts who already know you. And this is the fastest path to getting results or getting clients, because these people, they do not need a whole TED talk about who you are. Because what I mean by that is if you were to do any sort of advertising to cold audience, such as running paid ads, you'd need to educate those prospects a lot about who you are, what you do, why they should trust you, etc. But in this case, these are people who have raised their hand and shown interest in your service or in your clinic, which likely means they already know, like, and trust you. So, what we are going to do is just give them the right nudge to become a patient. So, who actually goes on this list? Let me make this a little bigger. So, you have to pull in every contact who has raised their hand for you in any way. Past clients, people who filled out a form on your website, people who gave their contact info or responded to your ads, anyone who called or texted the clinic, even signups, all consultation inquiries. Like, you get the point. If they agreed to hear from you at some point, they qualify. Now, how big should this list be? If you can, aim for at least 2,000 contacts. Like, that size will give you enough volume so that even if you have a small response rate, you will still get clients and still earn money. Smaller lists can definitely work, but it just makes the math tighter. So this brings me to, like, setting expectations. So only about 1 to 2% of the total list will raise their hand again. That is normal. Some people are cold, some are warm. The goal here is not to get everyone to reply, but to surface the ones who are ready now and move them to a call or an appointment as soon as possible. Yeah. So now once you have the list in place, you have two paths. Like, two paths you can take with this list. You can keep it simple, or you can do a little extra work upfront for a bigger payoff. So let's talk about the latter first, which is segmenting the list by treatment interest. And this is the smarter route, and I highly recommend that you do this if you are to do it yourself, and you will understand why I recommend it in just a moment. So, if you can spare a little time up front, I highly suggest that you segment the list into buckets based on what each person actually wanted. So, you would create a group of people who wanted Botox, for example, and then another group of people who wanted fillers, for example, body contouring, etc. Whatever makes sense for your services or your menu. And of course, based on what these people were actually interested in. If someone raised their hand for Botox, if someone wanted Botox, sending them a body contouring offer might land flat. And chances are it will, because that person wanted to get rid of their wrinkles. They didn't like the wrinkles they saw in their face. They weren't really concerned about the contours of their body. So you get the point. Could it still work if they also need body contouring? Sure. But your best shot is to talk to them about the thing they already cared about. And here's how you can do this fast without overthinking. Start with the leads that have a clear treatment tag in your CRM. So if you use tags to classify which person wanted which service, you can filter using tags and do it that way. If you don't have tags, or if tags are messy, you can filter by form or the landing page they came from. Maybe you named your firm Talk Special Firm, or whatever the name of your firm was. It doesn't matter. The goal here is to figure out how you can filter them based on which type of service you wanted. So here's two more ways you can do this. I'll move on. So you will send each bucket or each group of people an offer that maps to the treatment they wanted but did not buy. Same structure, tailored details. This is where response rates jump drastically because the message feels personal without you writing a novel. So this is kind of self-explanatory, to be honest. If you send the people who wanted Botox an offer related to Botox, chances are they are going to respond. That's the main thing that I wanted to communicate with path one, and I hope you can see why that is the more that is the smarter path to take when trying to do this. The second path, the lazier path, is to blast the same offer to everyone. Like, this is the quick and dirty route. You pick one great offer and you send it to all of the people you have, like all the people in your list. It is faster, it is easier, and it will still get you replies if the offer you have is strong. And I'll get into the what sort of offer you should try and run in just a minute. The trade-off here is conversion rates, of course. So if you were to send offers to 1,000 people and your list was segmented, you could get a lot of people, like 40 people to maybe turn into client. Like, that's possible. That is definitely the higher end. Again, I want you to expect that only 1 to 2% of people will convert, but again, segmenting the list just gives you increased odds. And but if you were to not segment it, you might still get results, but the people who actually respond and raise their hand again will be lower, and that is the cost of speed. But if you need momentum this week and your data is kind of a mess, you cannot really segment it, then do like take this path. Yeah. So which path should you choose? Like, if you have decent tags or you can like segment the list very quickly, path one. But if your data is chaos and you're stuck, go with path two. And this is a simple checklist of everything that you need to do before you move on to the next step, which is like exporting the contacts, collecting the contacts, removing duplicates, obvious junks, counting your list, deciding the path you're going to take, creating buckets you can actually send to, like grouping the people into buckets and then saving those buckets as its own list inside your CRM. So that's it for step one. And now we move on to creating a compelling offer. Now that you have your list, it's time to build the actual bait that makes people raise their hand. This is the single most important in the whole process. And if you understand business, you already know that offer is king. And that's because you can send all the text you want, but if the offer isn't strong, nobody is going to care. On the other hand, if the offer feels like a no-brainer, people will jump on it right away. So how do you make an irresistible no-brainer offer? Here's the flow. First is you choose your core treatment. Like, pick one treatment or a small cluster of treatments that give a specific result, or that creates a specific result, and it should be something you want to build the promo around, or rather the market wants more. Like, so this should be a treatment that there is already a lot of demand for. So I've written that down here, that this should be something popular enough that your patient list recognizes it and wants it. Think Botox, filler, body contouring, BBL, or whatever is a proven draw at your clinic. And then you build a package. And this is all going to come together when I go like show you the examples of pre-made packages. Then you are going to like it's going to become clear how these four steps come together. But I'm going to go through these steps first. The second is building a package, not a one-off treatment. So a lot of Medspas, they tend to discount, let's say in case of Botox, units of syringe. So units or syringe. So a Medspa could say, hey, we usually sell Botox for $12 a unit, but this month or for the next 15 days, we're going to give it away for $9, $10 a unit. And when you do that, you automatically turn yourself into a Groupon, because you are going to attract the type of people who are bargain hunters and discount shoppers, and these sort of people are the ones who choose Groupon clinics. That's what I mean by that. So you shouldn't just discount one syringe or one session. You create a program or a bundle that gives a lot more value and makes the patient imagine your results. Your package must include multiple units in case of Botox or something like that, or sessions in case of body contouring or microneedling or whatever. Multiple units or sessions of the main treatment so that it's enough to feel like a plan instead of a sample. And then on top of that, you stack bonuses that cost you little but add a lot of perceived value. So let me pull up some examples. For example, the turn back time talks package. In this case, you have 20 units of Botox, a facial balance assessment, and a bonus $50 skincare credit. So you can see there's one core treatment, just like we talked about here, choosing the core treatment, and then we are creating a package of it using multiple units and bonuses. The bonus being the $50 skincare credit and facial balance assessment. So number three is you make the consultation sound premium. So you can see in this case, instead of saying it's just a consultation, we are saying it's facial balance assessment. That just makes it sound a little bit more exciting because everybody is out there saying free consultation. So dressing it up a little bit makes you stand out. So you could even say 3D skin analysis, age rewind mapping, or AI powered treatment mapping if you have that sort of stuff. And one Medspa that does it really, really well is Peachy Studio. So I'll bring up their website here, and they're quite amazing. So as you can see, they have something called a patented AI treatment mapping, and they heavily lean into this. So for example, this is an article on them, on their service, which is can AI improve your Botox results? So as you can see, they are leaning heavily into their unique point, which is the AI treatment mapping. So if you have anything unique like that, you can add that instead of just saying free consultation. And next is you show the total value and then you offer a discount. This is where you make the package look like a steal. Add up the total value if someone were to buy everything separately, show the retail price clearly, and then anchor your discounted package right next to it. So to pull up the examples again, you can see we're showing the value of these treatments individually and then offering a discount so that it feels like a steal. If you read through the packages, it will be clear what I mean here. So these are some of the examples of packages you can run, and you can of course design your own packages based on the things we talked about here. So that's it for the offer. Now you have your list, now you have your offer, and now it's time to send the actual text messages. Hey, if you're a Medspa owner who's looking to attract more higher value clients, not discount shoppers, not Groupon seekers who don't value your expertise or are not happy to pay premium prices, then listen up. We've got an offer where we get you 10 to 30 plus new high paying patients every month on a pay per patient basis. Not leads, not appointments, not shows. People who come in and pay for treatment. That's when you pay us. So we have full skin in the game. If that sounds at all interesting to you, there's going to be a link in the description where you can learn more about how we do what we do. And now back to the video. So this is where start things actually start moving. You've got your list in place, you've built a killer offer. Now it's time to actually reach out. And the way that you send that first message is everything. So how do you actually send that first message? And it's pretty simple. It's just keep it casual, keep it human. Don't make it sound like a promotional text message which feels salesy, or don't make it sound robotic. That just gets ignored. Instead, you want your text to sound like it came from a friend, to be honest. So short, light, and conversational. So you can see, hey Sasha, this is Alana with Medspa. I was going through my contacts and I thought of reaching out to you because we just launched a 60% off on our Turn Back Time Talks package. The package contains 10 units of talks plus bonuses. Want me to text you the details? So notice a couple of things here. It's not pushy. It's written in the same tone that you text a friend. Again, that's the mindset you want to have when doing these sort of campaigns is how would I text a friend? And then it ends with a question. And that's key because we are essentially asking for permission. We are not just saying, hey, if you hey, we are running this discount, click here to sign up. It's not like that. It's like we're asking for permission. So when they say yes, only then they are going to be pitched. So this makes them feel like in control. You'll be tempted to send the whole deal right away, but again, you want them to raise their hand first. That's what separates the interested people from the rest of the list. And yeah, again, if you're doing like if you're going straight for the offer, some people will take that, but half of the list will tune out. And if you say, do you want me to text you the details, this just makes it way lower friction. A lot more people are going to say yes to that. And once they have said yes, they've already committed a little bit, so they're engaged. Now you can send the full package details, which I'm going to get into in step 4. And of course, you don't want 2,000 people all replying at once. Like that will swamp your staff and you'll miss a lot of opportunities. Instead, you want to spread out the campaign in controlled ways, such as sending 500 to 600 texts per day. And those texts should again not be sent all at once, but rather staggered across the day. And of course, you should, and I would say must use a CRM because where's the time to do all of this or send 500 or 600 texts manually? You could do that, but a CRM like Go High Level or any other software will make your life so much easier. That would automate the whole process. This pacing keeps responses manageable and gives your team room to follow up properly and ensure no leads get lost in the shuffle. So the goal here isn't to close the sale on the first message. The goal is to spark curiosity and get a hand raised. Every yes, send me details is a green light to move forward. Like once somebody is engaged, that's when you are going to follow up and book them in for an appointment, which is what I'm going to get into now. So now the magic is starting to happen. People are replying yes, and they're raising their hand to learn more about the offer that you're advertising. Now, this is where most clinics mess up and drop the ball. They send one reply, maybe two, and then get busy. The patient ghosts, and that's the end of it. But remember, if you don't catch people while they're warm, the window closes. This is why this step is so crucial. The second text after they have raised their hand is where you send the full offer. Don't try and hide the price because transparency builds trust. And always end with a simple next step, which is to book an appointment. Or if you first want to take it over phone, it's to book a call. So you can say something like, awesome, here are the details. Our return back time talks package includes da 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 da. You can pause the video and read the text, and I will also get into an example here. But like this is where AI can change the game completely for you. Because let's be real, humans are inconsistent and staff gets busy. And I'm sure you've had your moments where somebody says they're interested, you reach out to them, you call them, but then they ghost. And you don't have all day to keep following up with them, trying to get them booked, considering you have a lot of other things to do at the clinic. So an AI that can text and call will respond instantly when the patient raises their hand. It will continue the conversation over several days if needed, and it will know how to handle light objections with pre-programmed empathy, such as totally understand, want me to check in later this week. And in AI, it can be trained on your business specifically. So you don't have to worry about the AI sending out generic replies that are not tailored to your clinic, if considering you set it up correctly. I'm going to have a video in this channel on how to build out these AI assistants so that you can build it out for yourself. So check the channel for that. But yeah, here is an example of AI having a conversation. I'm not sure if you can see this. Zoom in so that you can see this. So as you can see, the AI sent the first text, which is I was going through my yeah. You can see the first text now. It says I was going through my contacts and I thought of reaching out to you. Again, super simple, keeping it very, I don't know, human like. And then the person doesn't reply, the AI reaches out twice, hey, just checking in, still want the details, and then they reply, yeah, sure thing. And then the AI proceeds to give the full offer details, and then the person replies, okay, sounds decent, what's the catch? And then, as you can see, how the AI is replying here, the tone, the ability to sound like a human essentially. And then the AI is saying, haha, no catch, it's a seasonal promo. We only opened a few spots, and once they're gone, that's it. Only the first 30 buyers get the $50 skincare credit. Pro tip here, make the bonus, like tie in some scarcity with the bonus. So that way you can say something like only the first 30 buyers are going to get the bonus. No one else after that is going to get the bonus. That way, if somebody is thinking about it, they're more likely to jump on it fast. And then the person says, all right, yes, how do I book? And then the AI responds, great, our patient team will reach out to you to get the call scheduled and reserve your spot. They'll confirm a time that works best for you. Now, our system then sends you an email saying, hey, this person is ready to book. That way, you can look into the software, look at the conversation the AI has had with the prospect, and then you book them in yourself. That's how we do it. And yeah, again, check the channel for the video on how to set up this AI yourself. And we also deploy an AI voice assistant, so an AI not only can text but also can call. So yeah, like if this document is going to be in the description, and you can open up this document, play this video, and listen to me talking to the AI. I'm not gonna do that on this video because that would make this video very long. So at this point, the heavy lifting is done, the offer has been sent, and interested patients have raised their hands and replied. And now it's actually time to get them on the calendar, which is the big crucial step here before they say. So here's how the handoff would work. When a prospect is ready to book, you will know that because you either get an email or a text notification from your system. So that's how our system works. When somebody responds to the offer and says that they are ready to book, our system sends you an email and an SMS reminding you that you should book this patient in because they're ready to, take the next step. Or you will see the reply inside your software or your CRM if you don't have that sort of a system set up. Like you'll have to go into the software itself manually and see the reply. And then you have two options depending on how your clinic runs. Option one is you manually follow up. So if you don't have an AI, it's not an issue. This process works. It's just your staff has to work harder. So again, once you get a notification, you open up the software to see who replied, and you call or text the patient back promptly. Call and text the patient back as soon as possible. Like ideally within 5 to 10 minutes of the person responding to your, or rather within 5 to 10 minutes of the person saying that they are willing to book an appointment. And then you confirm their interest, answer any small questions, and book the appointment. And of course, you take a deposit, or if that person already knows and trusts you, you can collect the full payment on the phone. You can send them a link. So with our software, you could easily generate a link and then send them that secure payment link, or you can collect their credit card details on the phone and collect the payment that way. This way, your staff is only reaching out to people who already raised their hand. No cold calling, no wasting time. And option two is AI follow up. If you've got an AI in place, even better. The AI will handle ongoing text conversations, remind patients who go quiet, and overcome small objections like, let me think about it. And then only once a prospect has confirmed the interest, the AI passes off the ready to book patients to your team. In this case, your receptionist simply calls at the requested time and confirms payment. It's as close to a layup as you'll ever get. So this is what we do with our clients, which is we set them up with an AI that does the following up for the clinic and then passes off the ready to book patients over to the front desk. So, what if the patient stalls or doesn't answer? Either way, you don't let them go cold. If your staff is doing the follow up manually, you like the person who's doing the follow up has to set a reminder to follow up the next day and then again a couple days later. And this doesn't need to be complicated at all. It can be as simple as writing down on a piece of paper that that person needs to be followed up with, and then your staff can go in and follow up with that person. And if you're using AI, the system will automatically nudge them with texts like, hey, still want me to hold your spot. The point is to keep the conversation alive until they either book or bow out, or rather tell you to fuck off. So here's the efficient patient flow. Prospect says yes, AI or staff handles the details, and then the patient team gets notified. The providers, the receptionist, front desk, all of them get notified. Receptionist calls to confirm and take payment, and anyone who slips away goes back to AI follow up, or if you don't have AI, manually following up. And you don't want to stop following up with people until they either tell you that they are interested or they ask you to not stop following up with them. So this is the like after you have booked them in for an appointment, now it's time to actually deliver the treatment, and then I'll tie in a recap of all of the things we talked about at the end. So this is where the rubber meets the road. Essentially, the patient shows up for their appointment excited about the intro package they already paid for, or at least put in a deposit for. They're expecting results, and this is your golden opportunity to set the stage for the long game. And as we know, in the Medspa business, it's about getting repeat clients, not getting a client once. So again, you deliver the purchased package with care. So the package you advertised, you deliver it. You should always give the best possible first experience. Great bedside manner, smooth treatment, clear explanations. It all builds trust. The goal is to make the patient feel like they made the right choice walking through your doors. And then you want to set the expectations early. So the key is to frame the intro package as exactly that, an intro. You're not promising their dream outcome from one discounted bundle. You're showing them a taste of what's possible. So you can say something like, this package is a great way to start, but to really get smoother long-term results, or insert whatever their dream outcome is, most patients need a full series of treatment decks. Think of this as dipping your toes in. If your goal is insert their goal, will need a consistent plan. And as you might have guessed, this is where we try and sell them on a package or a long term membership. So, yeah, here's a recap of everything that we have covered so far to, do this right. First, you collect a list. Second, you create an offer, and then you reach out to them via texts. The AI or staff follows up. The team books. You collect payment. You deliver treatment, and then you upsell. So this works so well because you're not chasing strangers. Again, these are people who've already raised their hand in the past. So you are reactivating people who already know you. The offer is irresistible without being cheap. The messaging feels human, not spammy. AI and automation do the grunt work, so staff can focus only on the hottest leads, and every step builds trust and momentum, leading patients naturally from yes, tell me more to here's my card. That's how $197 intro special turns into thousands in lifetime value. The front end offer gets them in the door, the provider's trust and clarity keeps them coming for more. And I hope you can set this up yourself, but if you feel like that's too much work and you would want our help in implementing this into your business, there's going to be a link in the description where you can learn more about our pay per patient offer, where we get you 10 to 30 new patients every month and you pay only for the ones who actually buy. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.